Darshan. Our main topic is why we should meditate, and then slowly we have come to the end of the third chapter, that is Vibhuti Pada, and here today we will conclude the Vibhuti Pada with a wonderful sentence that the Patanjali Rishi will tell us. But before that, let us chant from the Shankaracharya's poem as we usually do. Mano buddhaham kara chittani naham nacha shutra juve nacha grana netri nacha vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. The last sloka of this third chapter, we will see how we ourselves can transform into Shiva, how we can become Shiva. And when we were studying this in the 45th, it has began the third chapter. From the 16th onwards, different type of power they are explaining. If we can concentrate on the tip of the nose, we develop this knowledge. On the throat, then this knowledge. On the beginning of the tongue, on that particular place, this knowledge. So, like this, it has come up to the 45th. Here it says, Tatoha nirmadi padurbhava kaya sampat tad dharma anabhighataha. Then it says that all similar powers. And what is that? Then we have already explained this in our last class elaborately. We get the wonderful Ashta Siddhi. That is almost everyone they know that when one is practicing the yoga, practicing meditation, one achieves some power, miraculous power. Some people they try to meditate only to achieve that power, and that's called Ashta Siddhi. Ashta means 8. Siddhi means success, success in controlling this power. And it says anima. Anima means reduce the size of the whole body to an atom. This anima. This anima, we know that the Ramayana, this Hanumanji is becoming a very, very tiny little person. Please allow him to sit here. This anima, anima means small. Then lagima, this is all light, the body is becoming light. Mahima, the largeness. Then prapti, prapti means all type of praise and different type of success, everything that can be achieved. Not only that, this person, the yogi who has achieved this, can touch through his finger even the moon if he wants it. That means, giving this explanation, nothing is impossible for him. Then comes prakamya, irresistible. That power expresses. Bashitva, they control all the lives, bhutas. And then Ishitva, the mastery over everything, just like the God. It's not big G, the small g, not capital G, the small g. Like this God can control, can do everything. Then ultimately, yad kama vasayitvam, power to determine at will. So that we learned in the 45th sloka aphorism. In the 46th again, rupa labanna bala vajra samhanatvani kaya sampat. This physical beauty, all these things can be achieved. It says that beauty, complexion, strength, and all this adamantine strong, the body hardness, it comes kaya sampat. There is a physically it can develop like this. This also we have explained, quoting from Swami Vivekananda. Then in the 47th it said, grahana sarupa asmita annaya arthabhatta samyamat indriyayaha. By making concentration, the objectivity, the grahana, and the power of illumination of the organs, swarupa, on the egoism, asmita, the inherence of the gunas of them, annaya, and on their contributing to the experience of the soul, that is arthabhatta, comes the conquest of the organs, indriya jaya. Now, Govinda, that's a Lord Krishna's name, and he has controlled all his senses, and so he can understand the minds of others. He knows what is going to happen, what is this and what is that. In the Mahabharata, when we read, and when we read the life of Krishna also, when we understand that he knows everything, what is going to happen. He knew how to kill the Bhishma. No one knows. No one knew that. How to kill the Bhishma. Bhishma, he got that blessings, that power, that he will die only if he wills, and no one can kill him. But he had a promise that I am not going to fight with any lady. If there is a lady in front, I am not going to fight. So Krishna knew it. How? Because Govinda, he knew the minds of all people. This yogic power, supernatural power, it is excellently, wonderfully expressed in the life of Sri Krishna. And that's why then Sri Krishna's attraction of Sri Krishna, when he was a small little boy, he was going on just as a game, just as a play, just as a prank of the children. He was going on doing so many things. But actually that was all yogic power, which is very easy for a personality like Sri Krishna, because he was God himself. What is the speciality of Krishna? He was not at all attached with these things. That is the speciality. Though he was having so many power, he could do so many things, but he was totally unattached with all. He told, no, I am not going to do anything. Only as because he was liking Arjuna, he loved Arjuna, he wanted to help Arjuna, and he said, okay, I will give you some advices. That's all. And he said, keep someone that is in front, and then you can do this, you can do that, you can kill even the Bhishma. So this is the power of yoga. And here we find Rupa, Lavanya, etc. Krishna was so beautiful. All people were attracted to Krishna. He was so beautiful, unthinkable, because of the yogic power. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he wanted to give all these 8 powers to Swami Vivekananda. Why? By this you can do a lot of things in this world. But Vivekananda said, no, I am not interested at all. So we will come to that, because the moment this type of supernatural power is there, even one if we achieve, will be a great personality in this world. Even the most powerful political people will also come at your feet only to get some help, because that is the person who can know anything, everything, and can do anything and everything. So here we find this, and tato manojavittam vikarana bhava pradhanas jayascha. This 48th sloka, it says, the aphorism, and even the mind, which is the most powerful and fastest, that can be beaten even by this body, this physical body. The physical body also can travel anywhere, any moment, just like a mind. As the mind can travel, similarly the body. Look at the power one can achieve just by meditation. So why not try? So you need not to go for any airlines. Anytime, anywhere you can go. So that only thing that we have to do, we have to sit in a corner of a room, and what we have to do, we are not going to kill anybody, cheat anybody, rob anybody, control anyone. We are only going to control our own senses, that's all. But that is the most toughest, and that's why it says Indriya Jaya. What are the Indriyas? Only 5. This eye and the ear and the nose and the tongue and the skin, these only 5. And these 5, it is so difficult to control. Kuranga, Matanga, Patanga, Meena, Vringa. Only one. Kuranga means the deer. And they are very fond of music. So those who want to catch the deer, they will be only playing the music, flute particularly. And the deer will come and they will catch them. So this way, everything is caught. And the human being, they are having all the 5. They are only having 1. But human being having all the 5, what to say about it? So in the Viveka Chudamani, Shankaracharya is telling it is very, very difficult to control these 5 senses, and if we can, the body also become as powerful, fastest, it can move just like the mind. Sattva Purusa Anyata Khyati Matrasya Sarva Bhavadhishtatrittam Sarvajnatrittam Cha. In the 50th it says, concentration on the discrimination between Sattva and Purusha. This Sattva and Purusha yogi gains the omnipotence, omniscience. It becomes everywhere, all powerful. Purusha, there is a word again and again used. The Purusha means that which is residing inside the Pura, this body. Pura means the house. If you go in India, the Purashabha they say, Pura. That's all the city, house, building. And here it means this body. Within the body, what is there? A Chaitanya, consciousness. As long as that consciousness remains in the body, no problem. The moment that consciousness about which we are not conscious at all, we go and do anything and everything, we find out time and to do everything. Only we are not having time to know about that consciousness, which is the most important thing within us. It is not the body, it is not the mind, it is not the senses, the consciousness. But we are not at all aware, or they say conscious about consciousness. And this consciousness, it is there inside, and that's called Pura. So when we practice meditation, what we do, we try to see our body from outside. And when we are trying to see this body from outside, it's not the human body, it's the temple. Inside, the God is residing. It's an excellent conception. And when we can come out of this body, which is so difficult, because the body and the mind are associated. Though the mind is subtle, body is gross, but how it came associated, how it became associated? It's so close to each other that we cannot leave, because the adhesive is ego. That ego is holding the whole thing, our mind. So this is the problem. So when the moment thought comes that I am going to die, I am so much afraid, everybody is afraid. But we don't think that actually I was not here a few years before. Then I was born. Then someday I won't be here. What is there? It's the same thing is going on. I was not and I won't be. In between, a little manifestation. Then why should we so much think about only this manifestation? You see the flowers now over there? These are all winter, summer flower. In the winter time, you won't see even the trees because it's covered. The plants you can't see because it's covered with snow. So obviously, where they were, we don't know. And when the winter will come, where they will go, we don't know. We only know a little portion when it is blooming. Similarly, the life. This is called discrimination. We will come to that. The moment we can discriminate in that fashion, everything goes. So, what is Vedanta? Two things. The very first thing, yesterday I was giving a Skype class to Ann Arbor. Now we are studying the Viveka Chudamani. Again and again, Viveka, that is the dispassion. Chudamani, crest jewel. So obviously, the first and foremost thing every time, almost in every sloka, discrimination. Vichara, vichara, vichara. And what is that vichara? What is that discrimination? This. How we have to discriminate? Here in the yoga also they will say, and we will come to that aphorism, that if we can discriminate concentrating on the minutest part of time, 1 minute, then its most smallest part of the time, if we can concentrate on that. Next moment, blinking, before the blinking something was there, after it's not there. So that is there we have to concentrate. Think of it. We simply think though religion is nothing but some superstitions, look at that, what they are doing, etc. It's not like that. It's a science. And they are asking us to concentrate on the minutest part of time. And that is called discrimination. What discrimination? Then we can think, oh, everything is changing, every moment it is changing. Then why I am actually so much attached to all this? It's not necessary. That gives a tremendous strength. And that strength, that power of discrimination gives the detachment. I am here, but I am not attached with all this. And that gives peace. So here we find this, and then afterwards it comes to tad vairagyad api dosha vijakshaye kaivallam. In the 50th aphorism of the 3rd chapter, that is the ultimate goal is kaivalya. Is the terminology, the word that they have used in the yoga, that's called kaivalya. This kaivalya, tad vairagyad api dosha bija shaye. Bija means the seed. We know the bija is a seed. Shaye, when it is burned, destroyed. When that seed is destroyed, what that seed? Dosha bija. What is that dosha? Dosha is attachment. When that attachment to these worldly things are there, that's the problem. When the attachment is not there, there is no problem. So that bija when shaye, what comes? Kaivalyam. Then in the 51st sloka it says, we have already read from Swami Vivekananda about this, 230. And he said, he attains aloneness, independence, and becomes free. The Kaivalyam, that word Swamiji is explaining, attains aloneness. Look at it. The moment we think we are alone, we are afraid. Oh my God, I will be alone. But can I ever be alone? No. Why? Because so many thoughts are there constantly within my mind. When I am alone, I am always, every time, with these things, these thoughts. So I am not at all alone. So here he becomes totally alone. Alone means he is living only within himself. He is thinking only with the self. That's called alone. So he attains aloneness, then independence. He is not depending on anything, anybody. So this is a great thing, that is called freedom, and free. We are actually constantly depending on so many things, so many people, so many different type of atmospheres. We are depending, and here he is totally free. When one gives up even the ideas of omnipotence and omniscience, there comes entire rejection of enjoyment of the temptations from celestial beings. What we do actually, the holy people, we are constantly engaged, try to be engaged. We always try in the company. We cannot be alone, those who are trying. And we try to put our mind in the company of holy people. That's why we read books. And then we try to imagine, memorize, send our mind to those company. Oh, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving the discourse, sitting on that small bed, and some people sitting on the floor, and the Ganges, the holy river, is flowing, and it's a beautiful breeze. He is talking like this. What is this? Company. So we are also in the company. Some people, they go to the cinema house or the movie, they are in the company. The company of whom? All the artists, cinema artist or musician or the dramatist and all that, in the company. Some, they go to the club and play in the company of the friends. But we are always in the company, and when we are in general alone, we are in the company of our thoughts. There are also our friends and the foes and the neighbors and relatives, all are present with us. So when we are alone, actually, we are never alone. So here it says, Kaivalya means to achieve the aloneness. So suppose we give the talk on try to be alone. Will there be any listeners? Hey, what type of thought they are thinking? So we want friends, we want company, and this fellow is asking us to be alone. And this aloneness is called Kaivalya. So this is the call, and Swamiji is telling, when the yogi has seen all these wonderful powers and rejected them, he reaches the goal. See, he has already understood, he has seen them, and then he has rejected them. I don't want. Then only he reaches to the goal. He is there in the goal. But it is not so easy. To reach the goal is not so easy. We will see in the next. What are all these powers? Simply manifestations. They are no better than dreams. Because temporary. What are the dreams? This is temporary only. And sometimes dreams, impressions will be for a long time. If it is a good dream, and if I see that I have become a very rich person enjoying this and that, I don't like to break that dream. And when I see the opposite, that I am poor, people are chasing me to beat me, I like to break that dream. So, why that is also, there are also my desires there, good and bad, happiness and misery. So, try to understand what all these things in our life. As a human being, we have to understand what is all these. When you are all alone, looking at the sky, you can see so many things if you imagine. If you have the strong imagination, you can see all these things that you want to see, that will be projecting on the sky. You can enjoy hours together. You can enjoy. I was in Himalaya, and there was long distance, there was the hills. The one Swami told, can you see the Shiva is lying down? Previously I never saw Shiva. But the moment he suggested, I saw, yes, matted hair, this is the nose, this is Shiva is lying down. Whenever he looked at that, oh, Shiva is like, he is there. Imagination. So the imagination, imaginative world, so that is also temporary. That's why Swamiji is telling, even that also cannot take you to the ultimate. And then it says, so long as there is a mind, it can be understood, but the goal is to beyond even mind. As long as there is mind, all this will be there. Even intellectually, it is difficult to understand. He is asking us, Patanjali is asking us to go beyond our mind. How? With the help of the mind. How? By constantly discriminating. What we are discriminating? That all that is coming is nothing but temporary. I don't want anything temporary, I want permanent. Then ultimately I reaches in the point when I can imagine, I can think, I can realize, even the mind is temporary. Mind is not permanent. So I go beyond mind. The moment I reaches beyondness, that beyond the mind, then it is called Kaivalya. But when one is trying to do that, not only all his past impressions that he is fighting with, when he is almost done, everything is clear, then comes the most difficult part. What is that? It says in the 52nd aphorism, Sthani upanimantrane shangas smaya karana puna anishta prasangad. Now again anishta, the bad thing happens. Again that problem comes. When anishta means all bad, again the things are happening all bad. When? Because the temptation. Who is tempting me? The Swami Vivekananda is telling, gods. In our different scriptures, you will find when the rishis are meditating, there are so many temptations. And all one after another is coming. And there are so many stories, those who have read that stories, and particularly the god which is Indra. Everything goes in the name of Indra, the poor man. Now Indra is all the time tempting. Why? Because Indra also was a yogi. And when he was practicing yoga, he achieved many powers, many powers, but He could not control his mind, he could not go beyond the temptation. So after death, he has become a very powerful god, and that is Indra. And naturally, he is afraid that somebody else will come and then he will capture my seat, my position. Indratva is a position. If somebody is meditating, immediately will send some people to tempt him, to make him afraid, these and that. Somehow or other, these all stories are there, but that is true. We know that in the Muslim they call it shaitan, and then the same thing, the Christians they tell devil, and the Buddhism call Mar, and they are all the time imagining that it is a different entity, and that entity is a shaitan, is a devil or a Mar, as if they are coming and then doing all this, trying to harm us. But Hindus also they say, but they call it not separate entity, your thoughts, pralobhana. You are tempted, this is your thought. You are thinking that is good, and these gods they will come and invite you, and slowly they break down. Whenever we are proceeding, that is the main thing always happen. A person is very good and he is fighting for the just, for the good causes. Slowly he becomes the leader, then he becomes a someone, administrator, then all people come and start telling, oh, you are the best one in the whole history. Slowly he becomes also corrupted. It's nothing. Suppose I give this is mine. Respect for you, I am giving you this car, then these, and these temptations. And that person forgets. That is very natural. So this temptation, one must be very careful about the temptation. Punaha means again. Anishta prasangat, discussing about the danger, fear of evil again. So now, in this 50th aphorism, he declared, he said, this is Kaivalya. Now again it comes and says in the 51 aphorism, be careful about this. So Puna, again, I am talking about this, what is that? Anishta prasangat. I will be discussing about the fear of danger and this evil. And who is going to do this? It's the sthani, celestial beings. It's not ordinary people. Sthani, the devas, they will be coming and tempting you. The great personalities, the holy people, they are coming and tempting you. In the Jesus, also in the life of Jesus, there is a temptations. In the life of Buddha, Mar came, temptations. In the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, like that. In the life of Swami Vivekananda, same. So each and every one who is going to be successful, temptation is there. And for the ordinary sadhakas like us, what is the temptation? Clappings of the people. When you go and deliver a lecture or write an article or something, people will clap, because we are all tiny little personalities. Naturally we think, oh, it's so good. So this is the main problem. So I told that one of our Swami, he got first, he was a very good writer and speaker also. So he went to an ashrama and he delivered a lecture, and back in India, and that time the communist movement was going on. So Vivekananda and communism, socialism, something like that, the subject. He spoke and very nicely. Then after that, as you usually stand and take the pranam, so devotees are coming out, offering pranam and going on telling, Swamiji, you spoke so well, so well, so well. And he was feeling naturally happy. This old Swamiji who was also standing there, then he said, don't think they are telling you only. They tell all the speakers the same thing. Every time they come, they tell the same thing to all the speakers, though you need not to be happy with all these things. This is the normal thing they do. So see how things, the moment he heard that, immediately he came down to the natural, normal level. Constantly you have to go on reminding yourself, nobody is there to look after you. When you are brahmacharis, and that too in an organization like Ramakrishna Mission, where many hundreds of swamis and monks and brahmacharis are there constantly observing you and protecting you, caring for you, correcting you, then it is possible, because it is the mind. You do not know what is going to happen when. So these are all temptations. So these temptations is come in a different way. Sometimes in a compassion it comes. Oh, if I don't help that person, what is going to happen to him? So that is also compassion. There is also bondage, it goes. If I am not there, who will help? When you were not there, how they survived? We forget. So you always think, I am very important. So that is the temptation. And then in the 50th, here it says, in the explanation, there are 4 types of yogis. One is kalpik, the first yogi, but he is not ordinary. He has reached a very high position, but still the powers have not come. The powers have not come to him, still there. So, not achieved all powers, only seen the light. That is the stage it called kalpik. Second, madhu bhumika. I don't know why they have given the name like this, but this is the terminology they have used. Madhu bhumika means achieved ritambara knowledge. That means the truth. Rita means satya, the truth that is holding, maintaining the regularity in the world, universe. The sun is coming, the moon is also there, air is flowing, everything in right time, right direction, everything. Somebody is looking over there and taking the accounts. That is called, that law, universal law is Rita. This he controls, he reaches to that position. He can understand why this is happening, when this is going to happen, etc., etc. Then pragya yatishmana. First is kalpik, then madhu bhumika, and pragya yatishmana. He can control all the external beings. All beings he can control. This is pragya yatishmana, and also the senses. Beings and the senses he can control. He can control the being and also can control the senses. That is the position. And ultimately, atikranta bhavaniya. They crossed all obstacles, always in peace. So that is the ultimate condition. He crossed all the obstacles and then he is in peace. Then 52nd aphorism, shana tat kramayoho sanyamat vivekajam jnanam. By making concentration on a particle of time, as I was mentioning, on a particle of time and its precision and succession comes discrimination. Then when we are constantly thinking, I was there this moment and I was not there next moment. So this precision, that particular time, I was not there or I was there. So that fraction of time, if I am concentrating, and then I can develop a powerful discriminative capacity. This discrimination moment, it comes where I was actually, I was not there. And then that particular moment, I won't be there. This is the only difference. I was and I won't. that much, and nothing else. So that particular thing, if it is there in the mind, then there is no problem. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna passed away, and all people are crying. Ma Sharadamani Devi also, naturally, she was also crying, and she was trying to put on, as they call it, widow's dress. In our country, they put on the white dress and all this. Then he came and told, where have I gone? Why you are crying like this? You know, many other people they may not, but you know it very well, I am always here. Only I was in the body, that body, it is not. But me is always. So Swami Vivekananda said, I will not be there, maybe. I will throw this body as a disused garment. But I will be always present in the thoughts of people, inspiring people. How it is possible? This is called Amrit, eternity. Eternity in the presence, in the minds of people, eternally present, constantly present. So they are always there. So this is called ideas, ideologies, thoughts, and this is always present, inspiring people to be good people, always and every time. Shana tat kramayo sanyamat. Shana, the small little particle or small portion of the time, concentrating on that. Here, this Swamiji, Swami Prabhavananda ji, is writing in an excellent way, and it says, moment is meant an indivisible unit, smallest imaginable instant. A moment is regarded by Patanjali as an object. By making concentration on single moments and on their sequence in time, the yogi comes to realize that the entire universe passes through a change within every single moment. So that's called power of discrimination. So when we can understand this, ye to tha, ye to tutega, ye jo discrimination, this was there, now that has broken, it is all right. Very gross type of, very, it's called beginner's discrimination. But when one is going deeper and deeper, the discriminations, the thought, it goes to that this is, every universe is changing every moment. That there, hence he understands that the nature of the universe is transitory. This understanding is what is meant by the discriminative knowledge. I was sad. There are some people when they say, Swamiji, there are so many problems, I say, write it down. When they try to write down the problems, they can't find the problems. Because the moment you ask them to write down what is your problem, they can find what is the problem. Anyway, I will come back to you afterwards, but they never come back. I am happy there also. So, this way, if we are concentrating on that particular, now this here he gives beautifully, he is explaining, I was sad the whole afternoon. I was sad the whole afternoon. Somebody came and told him, this is Swami. Then when he said, okay, when actually exactly you were sad? Then he said, 2:15 I was sad. Then he said, 2:37 also I was sad. And then 3:1 I was sad. That means it's a little portion he was sad, but not all the time. At 2:15 something happened, somebody told him something, he felt he was sad. Then afterwards again for some time, then afterwards again for some time. Ultimately the total sadness may be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, not the whole afternoon. But when he is telling, he is expressing the whole afternoon. I was sad. Then Swami is telling, thus we not only deceive ourselves, I repeat, thus we not only deceive ourselves, but suffer much imaginary pain. So this is very important. Imaginary pain. Now sometimes some people have, whom I was expecting that he will give a call, he didn't call. Oh, that means he has forgotten. Oh, then all imagination start coming, and that will bother us, and it will be so painful. All the suffering, only imagination. Almost all the sufferings. And then without understanding, that fellow is struggling somewhere in the, because something happened, some accident, he is there, or maybe he was trying to reach as fast as possible, police stopped. And here the police is not like our country, they will take lot of time, first they will see the number plate and then they will go to their own computer and they will get all your biodata. Cha, 5 times he has broken like this is the 6th time, I am going to, all this calculation he will come, it is half an hour over. You are suffering over there, and now some other people, and they are also suffering, thinking you are avoiding. So all imaginary, mostly imaginary. And then afterwards, when they come, when they explain, then it is broken, but in the meantime, both suffered. So that is Swamiji is telling, not only we deceive ourselves, but suffer much imaginary pain. There is a Jain Buddhist technique. This meditation, particularly the Jain Buddhist, they have developed very nicely. This Jain Buddhist technique for their torture, they are eluding. How they are slowly they are calculating how much torture. So they are doing like that. So by the breaking up of the time sequence, somebody is torturing me. And then the one gentleman came as a young man, he was teaching me to some exercise, and he was counting from oh, now only 15 left, oh, now only 14 left. He was not counting from 1 to 16. He told you have to pick it up 16 times, but he was counting, oh, only 8 left. Oh, and I was getting encouraged, oh, only 7, that's okay. Now, if I am 7 and then I have to reach to 16 or so, then I would have lost my energy. But he was counting in the opposite way. Nothing, the same counting, same, but I was getting encouraged. So Buddhist, this Jain, they are also, when you are suffering, you have to break the sequence, concentrating only upon what is happening in each moment of the immediate present. So this is happening to me right this moment. Don't think about the past or the present. This moment he is pricking me, or I am getting this moment. Then in this way suffering can be robbed of its continuity and made much more tolerable. There is a way that the Buddhist Jains there. For suffering is largely composed of our memory of the past and our fear of repeated pain in the future, and this memory and this fear are dependent on our consciousness of a time sequence. So this is really a very scientifically, as a mental science we can say, psychologically it can make us so happy, so capable to face all this type of problems. When the problem is there, if you are quietly thinking, you are not suffering. Friends, actually what happens? We suffer. When there is a problem, who is suffering? Me. And those who are very closely associated with me, maybe the father, mother, very close friends, they also suffer, not so intensely as I am suffering. Or they will also, oh, you are not eating, no, it's better if you should, then they will drink. So like that way it goes. You won't eat, okay, but it is better that you should take, then they will eat. So like that we share, but share only that much. But intense suffering to whom? The particular person. And now if we know the mastery, the technique, how to control this suffering, who is enjoying? Me only. So this is very, very subjective, and this we have to understand. And then finally it says, Jati lakshana dosh deshaihi anyata anavachchedat tullayo tata pratipattihi. Now in Jati lakshana deshaihi, this also again those things which cannot be differentiated by species, signs and place, even they can be discriminated by the above concentration. So sometimes we can't discriminate what is happening, these and that are so similar. Suppose the both same type of coins, they show and then they change hands like this they do, and then this was in the left hand, this is in right hand, and now you tell me which coin is which hand, because it's the same coin, but even the yogi can tell it. Why? Concentration. The moment it is changing a little space in the hand and the palm, that he is minutely observing, and when it says, oh no, it was not here, it was there, so you have changed it. So look at the concentration specifically. Then we hear those stories, the funny stories about Vivekananda. When he was here in America, he was strolling, he was walking, he found that some of the young boys, they are trying to shoot the shells, egg shells floating on the water, and none of them was successful. Swamiji told, can you give me that gun? Let me try. That was the first time he took up the gun, and then he shot and it hit. They told, oh, he had long practice. No, this is the first time I am touching the gun. How it was possible? Concentration. Then in one very rich man's house he was there, Swamiji, and then his son was playing golf. You know, golf in India, we never see the golf course. Very rich people only they go. Nowadays, of course, slowly India is becoming rich. That is one of the almost everybody is going and playing golf. That is natural. We used to play only football, and that too we are the handmade football. You know that. So there's no problem for us. We are happy with those things. Now the more and more the sophisticated things are coming. The Swami Vivekananda never saw how to play the golf, and that the sticks are different type, different size, weight, so many things. That boy was trying to put that ball in the hole. He was not. Then Swamiji told, oh, you can't do it. It's very easy. Then he challenged, young boy naturally, can you do it in one time? I will give you $10. And Swamiji told, okay, let me try. When he was doing, his father came out, and Mr. Leggett, and he was a very rich man, and he told Swamiji, don't try, you are going to lose $10. It was very difficult, because the position the ball and from there to this hole, it will be difficult. Swamiji told, but I am going to do it. Then his father said, if you can, $100. Swamiji told, okay, this is very good. And he did the hit, and then immediately the ball went into the hole. And naturally the father was telling, oh, it is yogic power you have applied. Swamiji told, no yogic power, only I told my mind, see, my countrymen are very poor. $110 are very, very good amount for us. If you can only do it, put the ball in the hole, and this is nothing. I am going to get the $110, and that will be very helpful for my people over there. Mind did it. It's so easy, as if. Is it really so easy? So here it says, Jati lakshana deshaihi anyata anabachchedat tullayoho tata pratipattihi. Everything he can do. Then ultimately says, Tarakam sarva vishayam sarvatha vishayam akramam cheti vivekajam jnanam. Taraka means realized knowledge. Religion is realization. Swami Vivekananda again and again he is telling, religion is realization. This Taraka knowledge means realized knowledge. I have achieved. Not my guru said, not my scripture said, nothing like that. It is my direct perception. Aparaksha Anubhuti, there is a famous book by Shankaracharya. There also he says that you must have to see. Ihached abedit atasatyamasti masti. Nached iha abedit mahati vinasti. They are inspiring people. You must have to realize God here and now. And who is going to realize? You. This is the speciality of the Sanatana Dharma, Hindu Dharma. They always say you have to achieve, you have to realize, you have to know. Otherwise, whatever I say, that you must follow. Why? So, in this it says like this. Then in the last sloka of this chapter, it says, Satta Purushayoho Shuddhi Samme Kaivallamiti. Satta Purushayoho Shuddhi Samme Kaivallam iti. That last goal is Kaivalya. The Kaivalya, that means the highest meditation, and there what we achieve? Atman. We can see our own self, soul in all being. That is called Kaivalya. By making concentration on a, the Swamiji is telling about there, giving, by the similarity of purity between the Satya and the Purusha, Purusha comes Kaivalya. Similarity of the purity between Sattva and the Purusha. When the soul realizes that it depends on nothing in the universe, from gods to the lowest atom, that is called Kaivalya. So, that is the ultimate goal we started. Of course, another chapter is there, the last chapter, that is called Independence, and we are completing today the Vibhuti Pada, and the final chapter that we will study next is the Kaivalya Pada. This Kaivalya Pada we will complete, and now you are completing as a student, many of you regularly attending. This is an excellent book that we are studying. It's very difficult to study, but we have only not so deeply or practicing regularly, we are only theoretical knowledge that we are having. Swamiji is telling, in this universe he is not depending on anything, neither the God nor even the lowest atom, anything, and that is called freedom. When I am the king, everybody is depending on me, I am not depending on anyone. So, I am the master, everyone is depending on me, I am not depending on anyone. So, this is the ultimate of meditation. What is meditation? It says only concentration of your thoughts. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. That is the whole thing of the meditation. What is yoga? What is meditation? Chitta, that is from the mind stuff. Vritti, all the waves, the thought waves. Nirodha, controlling. And the moment we control that, what we become? Free. Free from everything. Whenever we are afraid, we think of God, we talk about God. Even somebody was telling, in Japan, there are many temples in a same place, Shinto, Buddhist, and all these temples. And in one time, there is a lot of young generation, all the students, they are there. And the Swami who was visiting, he was very happy. The Japanese are so devoted. Well, no, Swami, this is the only day they come, because they are going to, for appearing in the exam, so they come and they pray to all gods. They may be Christian, they may be Buddhist, they may be Shinto, but they come, and as because there are all temples are there, they will go and pray to all the temples, so that no god should be angry, because they are going to the examination hall. Next day you will never find anybody. The whole year the gods are only waiting. So that way we only go to the God when, because when you are in difficulty.
There must be more exams every day in that case.
So this is the way we, and then here it says, You become the master, you become the God, you need not to depend on God. So much of freedom. And some people, they said opium, religion is the opium of the masses. That is for the lower level. When the religion really becomes realization, is the freedom. Freedom from everything. And that is, here it says, we don't depend on, that is called kaivalya and the perfection. It is attained when this mixture of purity and impurity, called sattva, intellect, has been made as pure as the Purusha itself. So just try to next class, we will touch this and then go to the next chapter. It says that sattva, the word sattva, it means what? It says intellect. And in the intellect, the mixture of purity and impurity. We have the conception of what is purity and what is impurity. But when that purity and impurity become same, the one Swami who came from Toronto and he gave that our retreat, in the Parapuja, there he was explaining, then one person, he came to beg, he wanted food, nobody gave him the food. Then he saw some dogs are eating from one dungeon. He went and took out some food and from the almost from the mouth of the dogs. Then he sat on a dog, then he was eating the same food very happily. When the people were asking what type of person you are sitting on a dog and eating the food that has been used by the dogs and from that dirty place, then he said, all Vishnu. This is the food that I am eating, that is also Vishnu, and the dog I am sitting on is a Vishnu, I am eating, I am Vishnu. Where do you see something else? It is all Vishnu. And then he was asking that person, Kim Hosatire Vishnu, why you are laughing, oh Vishnu? That is, you are also Vishnu. Why you are laughing at me? One gentleman came, he was also the same way into Dakshinesha, and so dirty. People were going away from him. When he went to the Mother Kali's temple, stood before the temple, and he called Ma, and whole temple trembled. And then he came, naturally, he was not getting any food or anything, he was coming out. But Sri Ramakrishna was observing from distance. He understood, and he had that one person constantly attending him, that Hridayaram. He asked Hridayaram, go and ask, how we will know when I have achieved knowledge? Go and ask him. Hridaya was afraid. No, he will beat me. Nothing he will say the words of knowledge. Go. And then Hridayaram, he picked up some courage and went, and from distance he asked, can you tell us when I will know that I have achieved knowledge? Then he said, when the Ganga water and the water of this nala, that is passing dirty, when you will feel that both are same, then only you have achieved. So that is the highest knowledge, of when you don't see anything else except the consciousness. That is the ultimate. When this called sattva, the intellect has become pure as the Purusha. When we see the impurity in our intellect, a small little baby, we don't find any impurity. He is so happy in all impurities. He will be playing with all dirty things. And the mother will go and pick him up. Then he says, no, this is dirty things, you should not do this, you should not do that. Slowly, you start thinking about purity, impurity, cleanliness, dirtiness. But when person go again back to that, and he sees the God, the purity everywhere. This is sattva. Then the sattva reflects only unqualified essence of purity, which is the Purusha. Thank you very much. And when one sees this, what one becomes? Shivoham, Shivoham. Then he becomes Shiva. That's why the Shiva, Lord Shiva, he lives in very happily with all the people, all those beings whom the society always say, go away, mad And the Shiva's company are all those people. But Shiva is happy. Even in the Shasana, most of the time he is in the Shasana, he is happy. And no problem for the Shiva. So we are going to be Shiva if we practice this. And now let us chant this sloka. I am sorry, 5 minutes extra I have taken. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam navasangatam naiva muktirinameya chidananda rupa shivoham 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 shivoham. If every day we practice 1 minute strong imagination that I am transforming into Shiva. If you have a picture of Shiva, he is sitting like this, and you also sit erect, and slowly you think that your head, all the hair is becoming matted here, and